Ah, New York City, the city that never sleeps. Which is probably why so many are fucked off out of New York City. Well, either that or de Blasio's ass-backwards policies. Yeah, try and cope, you schmuck, even before COVID you sucked ass. If the figures are indeed correct, 2017 to 2018 saw a drop of just under 224,000 people leaving the Big Apple, making it the biggest single-year exodus since the 1970s. Bravo, you dim-witted donkey. I don't know what it is with the crack-smoking monkeys that call themselves America's Democratic mayors and know that it's not a slight at Lori Lightfoot. I think Down syndrome and a bad case of LSD made that thing. Anyway, it seems they're in competition over who can utterly destroy their states the fastest, with de Blasio saying he is considering crossing the Rubicon and assuming the throne of tyranny. New York City will require all of its municipal workers, including firefighters, police officers, and teachers, to get vaccinated against the dreaded lurgy or test weekly for the virus, Mayor Bill de Blasio announced Monday, making the city the largest in the U.S. to impose a vaccination mandate as the highly transmissible Delta variant causes a new spike in lurgy cases. The plan will affect roughly 340,000 workers, mandating a vaccine or testing every week as of September, and some 45,000 will be subject to this draconian bollock starting as early as mid-August. That makes absolutely no sense. You can still catch it after vaccinations, so you could literally have positive testing people who caught it from vaccinated people. There, I just ruined your whole stupid plan. All unvaccinated workers will be required to wear masks indoors as of August the 2nd, de Blasio said, or there will unfortunately have to be consequences. So take this dodgy unapproved vaccine or else. That is a direct threat. NYC's public workers are literally being coerced by state government. Congratulations, New York City, you have a dictator for a mayor. De Blasio has also urged private employers to mandate vaccines for their workers, reiterating Monday they should go as far as they can go right now and impose a vaccine mandate whenever possible. If people want freedom, if people want jobs, if people want to live again, they should get rid of me immediately. I mean, we have to get more people vaccinated, de Blasio said Friday on WNYC. And obviously, it's time for whatever mandates we can achieve. Says the medically illiterate moron, there is no medical consensus for the efficacy of any of this. I don't care what senile old Joe says.
If you're vaccinated, you're not going to be hospitalized, you're not going to be in an ICU unit, and you're not going to die.
Thanks for the misinformation, Joe. I'll be sure to keep that one in mind. Vaccines do not mitigate infection rates. The vaccine literally just means you personally have been pricked. It has no effect whatsoever on other people. But perhaps I can explain this. You see, the CDC does not track vaccinated cases. There's actually been increasing pressure on them to do so. So even if the coof was out of fucking control, as long as those cases are all jabbed to the eyeballs and the companies got their money, the media isn't going to report jack diddly squat. Lurgy cases are on the rise in New York City as the Delta variant takes hold, with NBC reporting cases in the city have gone up by 327% since June the 25th, and most recorded cases have been among unvaccinated people. Most recorded cases have been among unvaccinated people. Now, a quick lesson on how to spot linguistic propaganda. Note the line, NBC reporting cases in the city have gone up by 327% since June the 25th. Ooh, scary big numbers. Be terrified. Yeah, right. If you ever see a percentage figure that large, there's a mighty high chance the real count is not all that overwhelming. And so in order to sell the fear,
Fear sells.
Piss off, CNN monkey. They'll use the percentage instead. If you have a 300% increase of 8 deaths, that's still only 24. But 24 isn't going to cause panic. They aren't going to show the real figures. But I will. NYC's own government website, 377 over 28 days is 10,556 positives. 26 over 28 days is 728 hospitalizations and 84 deaths over that period. So, hospitalization rate of 6.9% and a death rate of less than 0.8. Couple of things to note. They still use the PCR, which as we know by now is about as accurate as flinging a pigeon at a dartboard, and I don't know if those hospitalization rates include those who are there for any reason and just happen to test positive, and same goes for the death rate. And so they could be wildly inaccurate as far as I'm concerned. But look at those numbers. Are they cause for dictatorial state overreach? I think not. De Blasio has said he won't reinstitute the mask mandates, but could impose the passport scheme and would seriously consider the policy like the one being used in France. That face just screams freedom, doesn't it? I'm convinced this bellend doesn't actually watch the news unless it's licking his aging scrotum. These shuddering weaklings are still wetting the bed because of January's events. Oh, but let's replicate the same policies that caused thousands to storm the French town hall in protest. What a fucking genius. And more bullshit. Houston Methodist Hospital losing a legal battle against the hospital's mandates, and Indiana's university mandate for student and staff being upheld in federal court. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission has said federal law does not prohibit employers from mandating vaccines. So much for freedom from state coercion or bodily autonomy. Fuck de Blasio and fuck his wannabe dictatorship. And that's all for today. Until next time.